Welcome back to Bloom. While 2020 has brought more stressful times, we need to do all we can to minimize stress, since stress can suppress our immune system, which can harm our health. Joining us to discuss the impact of stress on our health is Dr. June Hall. Welcome to Bloom, Dr. Hall.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, and I'm so glad you're talking about this, because now more than ever we need to find ways to reduce the stress, because it really does affect our body.
It does affect our body. And my background is mental health counseling, and part of our academics is realizing that the psychology relates to the biology. And a part of that is when we're stressed, it impacts us by giving us headaches, our lungs, because many people stop breathing. You have to that's why they say, take deep breaths, because people literally stop breathing. And it impacts our bones because our muscles get tense, our stomach, gastrointestinal, our heart, hypertension, because then our heart works harder. So all of these things can negatively impact us if we don't get a handle on our stress level.
Yeah, and we talk about it, in some cases stress is helpful when you get in that fight or flight mode. Right, but you don't want to stay like that all the time, because that's when it starts doing the damage to your body.
And you know what, I'm glad that you brought that up, because there is something that's called the general adaptation system, which really relates to the fight or flight. And the first is alarm, where we get whatever news it is that makes us stressful. But the second part is resistance, and that's when we have to learn how to cope when you're in that fight or flight. So are you going to cope? Are you going to deal with it? Are you going to problem solve so that you don't get to the third phase, which is exhaustion, and that is detrimental to the body?
Yeah, that does happen to a lot of folks. So with this being Breast Cancer Awareness Month, does stress have an impact on that?
It has a very strong impact on it. My friend Jewel, she did an exercise video, and she went through chemotherapy, and she's still doing treatment for stress, for cancer. I apologize, breast cancer, that is. But she's taking the initiative. She's showing others that you can still exercise depending on, your level. And she was diagnosed at stage 3.
Wow.
I know. So there's a relationship, a correlation between stress and breast cancer. Doesn't mean that one causes the other, but those who lower their stress levels are having a more optimistic outlook, and the recovery time seems to be reduced.
So I see that you brought some props today.
Yes.
Talk to us about ways that we can reduce our stress.
Okay. Well, you know that I'm all about APTing, APT. APTing stands for Accentuate Positive Thinking. And so you should still do the exercise. You should still do the yoga. You should still do the breathing. But some Adaptations ways are by having the positive support network. So we have an Adaptations network, and that's just like communicating with someone who can help you, who can give you ideas, and who can help you remember the positive. So, sometimes we forget when we're going through that stress. Another one is, I brought a pumpkin, but we can call this our positivity jar. I brought it because, the fall season, but it can be any jar that you want. So you put the positive in there. So like today, I would put, hey, had a great time with Gail at Bloom. That's something I can pull up
later. And do you
later.
actually write that and put that in there?
You put it in the jar. And then later, when you're feeling stressed, you can go to your jar and pull something positive out. This is what we call our Adaptations journal. Have be amazing. All of us can't be gorgeous like Gail, but we can still be amazing.
You're gorgeous for the both of us.
And so you write in there, when you're going through your stress, you have to remember something positive in your life. It could be as simple as, I still know how to read. I have a roof over my head, whatever it is. And someone, when I did a training, she said to me just a few days ago, I need to go to my positivity journal.
Right.
Yeah. And last but not least is our handy dandy wastebasket. With the wastebasket, you write down whatever's stressing you out. Dump it in the wastebasket. Of course, it's symbolic, metaphorical, but you take that day and just say, I'm going to be stress-free. You don't worry about anything. You live your life happily in a positive way. Clears your mind so you can come back and deal with whatever the problem is.
So do you write that down as well? You write that down.
Ball it up. Throw it in the garbage. Can you imagine how great that feels to be able to write down and
cathartic,
throw it away?
It just releases it.
Yes.
I love that. This is great stuff. All right, for more information, you can visit Dr. June's website at adaptationsnetwork.com. Thank you so much, Dr. June.
Thank you.
So great to have you in studio. See, we're social distancing.
Yay.
We'll be back with more Bloom right after this.